Hey, what's up, guys? Come to the doctor with me. Also, my eyebrows are really dark this morning. I'm not sure what's going on. Okie dokie. How do you lock your steering wheel? Nope, that's not it. Is that it? Cool. Steering wheel locked. All right, we're ready to go. So as everybody has by now watched, or saw the clips on YouTube, or saw the TMZ video when the fight first happened, we got to see the episode surrounding the fight for the season finale of The Real Housewives of Potomac. And it was an extremely interesting episode, especially when you juxtaposition to another Real Housewives show, another Potomac episode that also had a fight. So in this video, and again, we saw the ending of the last Real Housewives of Potomac. Then you see the TMZ video, which was out over 8 months ago. And then you see this episode. When you have everything together, you now have a clearer picture of what happened, who said what, who did what, and how everybody reacted to it. So just to clear everybody up, on the end of last episode, after that terrible GNA fashion show, side note, those clothes are ugly. Super side note is, you know what, this is the real side note. After multiple housewives have debuted jewelry, cookbooks, clothes, of food packaging, blah, 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 none of them have ever had the ability to capitalize on their episode. It's always halfway launched, not launched, or whatever. To me, if you have such a huge platform like Real Housewives or any kind of reality TV show platform, especially Real Housewives of whatever city, when they have an episode focused on your brand, after the episode is over, your website, your products, the full range of products should be ready to launch. It should be no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Everything should be completely ready to go, full line out. For GNA's episode fashion line came out last week. Once that line was introduced, all of those products should have been available while it was top of mind for every single person. They should have been available. If not last Sunday, they definitely should have been available this Sunday. I went on the GNA website just to see. Only 6 products are out. And there's 6 of the most basic products, and none of these products were actually featured in the fashion show. There's a t-shirt that has GNA and a weird graphical pattern all over it. And it's a short tank. It's not even a long tank like what a lot of women like, especially if you're going to work out. And we've established that this line is more leisure than it is athleisure. That's one thing. They have a baseball cap, a Scully for $40, and a couple little knickknacks. But there's only 6 products out. At the top of the page, it says they're coming out in spring. But it doesn't need to come out in spring. It should have come out when it was top of mind when the episode dropped. And again, as somebody in marketing and kind of in PR, that always irks me. And always is like, you guys are dropping the ball left, right, and sideways. And then you wonder why your products don't do well is because you didn't capitalize on that big moment when you should have. Sheree messed up doing it. Teresa Giudice has messed up doing it. Larsa has done it. Everybody has messed up with their launches when it was the most important time to do it. So that's that. Anyway, so as we all know, Deborah came to the fashion show, who was Ashley's friend. Deborah, for some reason, thought it was a good idea to go up and talk to Candace. Deborah is not a part of the cast. She's not even a friend of. She was kind of a friend of last year. So she just doesn't belong in the group, but she's Ashley's friend in real life. So she's at the event. She decides to walk up to Candace and want to confront Candace about all of the knick-knack, mean, awful things Candace has said. Yes, Candace has said awful things about this woman, but they weren't unwarranted. That's the part that little Miss Deborah keeps missing out on, is that these things were warranted. You lied on 2 husbands. You said that her husband walked up to you and started flirting with you out of nowhere. Producers proved that man didn't want to talk to you at all. He paid you dust at that bar. He was nice, like, oh, hey, hi. Oh, your husband's name's Chris. Cool. My name's Chris. Blah, blah, blah. You did the same thing with Eddie, Wendy's husband, saying that he was happy Eddie, even though that man laughed at you for a hot second and then walked away. You told lies. So Candace has every right to call you every name but a child of God. She does. You did something messed up. She's mad about it. But Deborah, for some reason, doesn't see it that way. She feels like getting called names was just out of the blue, and Candace had no right to do that. That's not the truth. So when Candace sees Deborah, Candace is basically saying, not to her, even though you don't see the video, I can imagine how this goes, especially with Candace's little air that she has against of her that annoys a lot of people. I feel like Candace was like, looking over at production saying, please get this hoe out my face. Get her out of my face. I don't want to talk to her. Please, somebody come get the help. I have nothing to discuss with you. And she's right. I have nothing to discuss with you. Not only are you not a cast member on the show, you tried to lie on my husband on a huge platform, a platform that I sit on that you're trying to get on. How dare you? So when Candace wasn't paying her any attention, and it's been proven from Wendy and Nneka and Keiarna, all saying this is not the time nor place for this. You don't need to have this discussion right now, which all makes sense. Like, yeah, you're mad, we get it, but this is actually a fashion show and we're all just hanging out. It's not really the time for it. You need to go away. She decides to toss a drink on Candace. The drink gets tossed, it lands in Candace's hair. Candace now is being pushed back. Wendy is shocked. Keiarna is trying to push her arm away after she throws the drink. So then Deborah swings a glass in Keiarna's face and they all start fighting. That is when Candace grabs a bottle like she's going to hit Deborah in the face, and Keiarna starts whooping Deborah's ass. She really does. Like, Keiarna can fight. So that's what happened. It's very disturbing, and it's really sad that Ashley went out of her way to make it seem like it was Candace's fault. Listen, Candace is annoying. Candace talks too damn much. You know, let's talk about the difference between this fight and the Candace and Monique fight, because these are two completely different incidents. In the Candace and Monique fight, Ashley was the behind-the-scene person egging that on, but Candace and Monique were both in each other's faces, putting their hand in each other's faces, talking crap to each other. It was an equal situation that both of them were a part of. Should the fight have happened? No, but they were both a part of it. In this situation, Deborah was the aggressor. Candace didn't walk up to her and say, we need to have a conversation, or they weren't already having a conversation that then escalated. That's not what happened. Candace is in her element with her group of people for this show, and Deborah walked up to her to start a confrontation, which looked premeditated. I agree with what Karen said, that you came with an issue that you wanted to hash out. Like, you wanted to cause a scene, and maybe what Deborah thought was, like, if I cause a scene and it only gets escalated to so far, then Bravo will see me as an asset and I can be an adversary to Candace and they'll bring me on the show. In theory, that could have worked, but you went too far. And the fans didn't like you anyway because you lied last season on 2 husbands for 0 reason. There was no reason for you to lie. I mean, I don't get the point of that. She could have been a quirky, fun friend. Instead, she just came up as a liability that could have lied way worse. Way worse. If there wasn't cameras there to hold her accountable. She could have said a lot of stuff, that Chris tried to kiss her, Chris tried to touch me, Eddie tried to touch me. She could have said anything. And women like her are dangerous. I appreciate, so Ashley is just trying to make it seem like this is Candace's fault, and it wasn't Candace's fault at all. Candace shares no responsibility in this. Now, Keiarna, should she have minded her own business and stay out of it? Yes. Keiarna, I get you were trying to diffuse, but your diffusion skills were lacking a little bit, and maybe it went off the rails because you got hit with a glass. I get it. You get hit with something, now all bets are off with trying to tamper down the situation. But I do think Keiarna maybe should have stayed out of it, and maybe it wouldn't have gotten so bad, or maybe it would have gotten 5 times worse. Who knows? But that's the only thing that I can say, maybe whatever. But Ashley just acting so oblivious, it is very frustrating and scary. Her and Giselle with this whole, let me light a huge giant bomb off and then walk away and blame it on somebody else, is very dangerous and scary. You have no idea what those type of people are capable of. And I'm sorry to be dramatic, but it's giving very Carolyn Bryant vibes. And if you know, Carolyn Bryant is a woman who caused the death of Emmett Till. And I know everybody's going to say, oh my God, you're jumping through leaps. But think about it. We have watched Giselle and Ashley do very dangerous things to people's relationships, people's marriages, and then walk away like nothing happened and like they didn't do anything. Like, oh, she's just being mean to me for no reason. Oh my God, I don't understand why she's so mad. You don't understand why she's so mad at you, Giselle? You basically told the world that her husband tried to sexually assault you. You don't know why she's so mad, Ashley? Your friend came on this show and lied on my husband, and you kept boosting her up and bringing her around people to continue to tell the story over and over again. Like, where's the confusion here? And that's that's dangerous to me, you know? And I appreciate Wendy coming in and saying, no, this is what the truth is. And you know Wendy was telling the truth because she said, listen, I don't even rock with Nneka like that. But Nneka even said, girl, Deborah, you don't need to do this right now. Let's do this another time. And Deborah kept doing it. And then you got Mia saying, and even after the fight happened, Deborah doubled down online thinking it was funny or thinking like she won some fight. So no part of this is Candace or Wendy's fault or anybody in the cast fault. This is strictly Deborah's issue. And again, I really think she thought this was going to get her champagne flute. And it didn't. It will never get her champagne. If anything, it's going to keep her off of most reality TV shows because it shows how volatile she is and how unpredictable she is and how you just don't have any decorum out in public situations. You couldn't just have a regular argument. You couldn't look at Candace and say, listen, you midget troll, I don't like you. Your husband was trying to flirt with me and you were just worried about it. Then the camera didn't show everything. You could have said any of those things. Instead, you decided to go up in her face and get mad about comments and posts from a while ago, you know? And lastly, before I wrap this up, because I'm almost to my doctor's appointment, Mia and Gordon, that was the most awkward 8 ending minutes of a show I've ever seen. And if I'm listening to it right, Mia has been having an affair with Ink for over 10 years. Ink doesn't want his real name used because his real name is used on his actual brands, even though his face is shown on the show and people can easily find out what his real name is. But maybe that was when it was behind closed doors. I do not know, and nor do I care. She's been having an affair all this time. Gordon, who had prostate cancer, was okay with them having an affair because he couldn't perform as a husband should, quotes in the air for a reason. So he was okay with it. But then Mia was bringing the kids around the new man, even though that was part of his rules, which is a reasonable rule. There are a lot of people with open marriages, and that's always a rule that I've always heard, just don't bring the kids into it. And the kids are asking questions, and the man, Ink, thinks that their youngest child, Jeremiah, is his kid. I don't know if I'm on anybody's side here, and I think a lot of the fans feel that way. I don't think we're on anybody's side. I feel this is the messiest mess to ever mess in the history of mess, in the history of garbage, you know? Mia is wrong for bringing the kids around. Gordon gave her an opportunity to have an open marriage and have a relationship with this guy. I don't think she ever thought that she was actually going to fall in love with him and wanting to be in a long-term relationship with him. Mia should have had more respect for Gordon in a little bit of a way and been like, we're just having sex, that's where this is. Also, Mia should have timed her cycle better when she was trying to get pregnant, or when she was with Gordon and the other guy at the same time, so that paternity is an issue. Gordon, you should have left a long time ago instead of blasting Mia, when in reality, Mia didn't really do anything technically wrong, morally wrong, maybe by bringing the kids around and not being as discreet as you wanted her to. But this is the bet that you made. The rumor is, and I don't even think it's a rumor, you left your first wife for Mia. You cheated on your first wife with Mia. And now this is where you are. You are now a 65 plus man or 70 plus year old man who had a young wife who is now, you got nothing to show for. That's what I'm trying to say. He has nothing to show for leaving his wife for Mia. Now you just have a waning libido and you're about to get divorced. And truth be told, and I think Mia would be better off as admitting this, you married Gordon for security and money. She keeps saying that Gordon didn't have any money. I had the money. Then why marry him? Why marry a man that much older than you? It's not because Gordon's attractive, because he's not. I mean, no offense, but Gordon's not attractive. So what was the point of marrying him if he had no money? What was the point of ruining a marriage if you weren't going to reap the benefits on the other side of the marriage? It's an insane situation, and it should be for an interesting reunion. Only annoying part is that we have to get through all the garbage before all of this, because it just started getting good the last 2 episodes, but we still got to talk about all the other dumb stuff at the beginning of the season. We have to rehear about Wendy and Nneka's relationship, and Candace and Robin and Juan and blah 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 blah, a bunch of stuff that nobody cares about. So anyway, I'm here at the doctor's office. Thank you for hearing me rant about the Real Housewives of Potomac. I don't do reviews on reality shows. I just talk about stuff that is interesting to me when these shows pop up, and this definitely was something interesting to me. So yeah, thank you for watching, and drop down in the comments. Let me know what you think about the fight. Let me know what you think about Ashley spreading lies and Robin jumping in on it, and Giselle, and Giselle really didn't say much. I feel like she thought that something was missing. For the first time, Giselle was kind of quiet during the whole conversation, so that's good. But yeah, we'll see how the reunion goes. I might talk about it, I might not, depends on what's said, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.